tend to employ people. We find people that we know, either in the business or not in the business, and we take them and we bring them into the family and we let them grow with us.
The UK government is opening up the border way too soon. They're not taking the COVID-19 so seriously, and they want to wait and see what's going to happen.
I don't think we ever had a goal as to become what we would describe ourselves, and we've often been described as London's leading private developer. The amount of units that we build. I don't think we necessarily set out to do that. I think we just set out to begin to grow, to be able to employ people. And
we sold quite a few of your properties, and when we did the completion, there was one of your projects we went to in North London. The contractor went in there. I've asked him, I said, how long have you been working for Galliard Home? I think he said it's more than 10 years as well. And all the other people I've spoken to, they've been working for Galliard Home for like 10 years, 8 years. It's a very long relationship. So as a business owner, I'm always curious about what is the value of Galliard Home to keep people working for you and keep the clients keep coming back as well.
I think if you were to ask us to describe Galliard's in one word, which is difficult to do for any company, and you had 10 people that have been involved or around the business for that amount of time, they would all say family. Family is the one thing that we all look at. If you take Sherry, who's now heading up our China team, she came to work for us via a friend of a friend of a relative of a cousin. Mm-hmm. And the majority of how we employ people, perhaps it's not as professional doing it that way, but that's how we tend to employ people. We find people that we know, either in the business or not in the business, and we take them and we bring them into the family and we let them grow with us. Mm-hmm. That's perhaps changing ever so slightly as we've become a bit more structured and a bit more professional, and of course we need more and more professional people. But Sherry will tell you as well, when she began to start the China team and build it up for us, we would say we need one more. Find us, help find us. And I don't think we've ever advertised. I've never ever placed an advert in a newspaper or anywhere looking for staff. I think it's family, it's continuity. When you take the subcontractors that you were talking about, for instance, so when we started 25 odd years ago, one of the main things that we said would be that we would always pay our subcontractors within 30 days. It would never be any longer. We would never leave them waiting for their payment. And I believe we've been true to our words.
And then for the clients, you mentioned about County Hall. The other day when I was speaking to Courtney, and she's very proud as well about County Hall, that project. I'm quite curious, in 1995, when you launched that project, what's the price per square foot for that? Do you remember?
Crumbs. I can tell you what the price for a flat was, and then we can work it back from there. So a one-bedroom flat, probably 500 square feet. Mm-hmm. They queued up to buy those for £99,000.
£99,000.
Why didn't we buy them? Why were we not queuing? So, I mean, it was very cheap, and now County Hall must be, a one-bedroom is probably £600,000, comfortably, that kind of price.
So because they made money when they buy from Galliard Home, and they learned the lesson that they trust you guys. Why do you think they think that you will buy your product, they will make money? Is it because when you buy the land, this land has potential? What is different? Because all the developers, they're trying to do the same.
No one does anything different. Mm-hmm. We probably all use the same contractors. The vast majority of our flats look quite similar.
But why buy
this Galliard Home? I think there's as we've said, there's a trust element. We've never been greedy. We would always say we've never been greedy. When we started, none of us had necessarily done anything clever other than being able to buy at the right time and see the rise and go with it. I was going on to say about our purchases. So there's a couple of families at County Hall that bought from me at County Hall, and then they bought at the White House, which was just down the road to the old Shell building 2 years later in 1997. I wouldn't say I'm responsible for the marriage of their children, but there were two Asian doctor families who I think got to know each other in the queue at County Hall, and their kids married.
Oh my God, yes. So go buy Galliard Home products if you want to get your children married. That's why they queue. Yeah, this is a very interesting fact, because the first time when I get to learn about Galliard Home is what I saw is because of the piece of news that I saw. So on the news, I can't remember whether it's the Sunday Times or it's a local, quite famous newspaper, and it showed a picture of people queuing outside your sales marketing suite early in the morning. Why? What is the secret of why people have to queue? Is it the marketing trick or people are really queuing?
It was certainly marketing. Whether you could call it a trick or not, that's entirely up to you. But it was how I suppose it was old-fashioned marketing, whereby, and if you could generate a queue begets a queue, and people. There's an anecdotal story, and I believe it. I can even remember the people's name. And I'm going to go back to County Hall in '95. We had a queue for about 12 days before we opened the doors. We wouldn't let anybody in. We wouldn't let anybody see the flats or the show flats, well, they weren't even ready. Somebody that bought a flat that joined the queue on the Saturday afternoon, and I remember I actually closed the reservation form with him, and I said, how did you hear about us? And he said, well, I was walking around the area, saw the queue, wondered what it was for, so joined the queue and came in and bought a flat. And I promise you, that's the truth.
He made a lot of money after that.
Mr. Michael Burke, he bought flat 40 North Block, and he's still living there today. He still lives there today, and he probably made a fortune. But good luck to him.
Yeah.
So I think it was marketing. We loved that in those days. I don't think it's necessarily doable today at the moment. Everyone's a little bit more savvy, I think.
Yeah, but still, I witnessed some queues
Yeah.
in your project. Two projects. I
Jessica
think.
House, there was a
Jessica,
queue when you came.
Westgate. Yeah, that was a queue. Yeah,
Westgate was our probably last big launch where we were able to get a particularly large queue, and we sold upwards of 100 flats over a launch weekend.
Yeah, so I was shocked because I went in that morning and I saw a queue was already inside the building. I was like, this is not happening, not in London. No one really telling everybody else not to buy. It's not a good time to buy, and we still see queue literally in front of my eye, and people are actually buying. And you do exchange and sign the contract on the same night as well, because we did that. Yeah.
So we've always had a policy. It was actually purchasers that came to us. We did a scheme a number of years ago, pre-County Hall, where we weren't doing exchanges on the day. We were just doing reservations and instructing a lawyer. And a buyer came in on the Sunday and said, I want to buy that flat. And we said, I'm terribly sorry, it's just been reserved. No, I want to buy it. I'll exchange now. I said, well, you haven't got a lawyer. And he said, well, if your lawyer's here, which they were, just in attendance, I'll sign the contract myself. And so that got us to thinking, there's a market here, we should be doing this, and so it grew out of that. And we make it really easy for the buyer. We let them exchange on anywhere from £2,000 to £5,000 is the initial payment. We don't expect someone to turn up at a sales launch with 10% burning a hole in their pocket or on their credit card. And then they have a period of time within which to pay the balance of that 10%, be it 14 days or 21 days.
A rising concern from the mainland Chinese buyers that a lot of them are saying the price is going to keep going down, and they are saying that the market is going to crash because of the COVID-19. The UK government is opening up the border way too soon. They're not taking the COVID-19 so seriously, and they want to wait and see what's going to happen. And you also mentioned quite many times throughout our conversation, your strategy for a good investor is to find the right time, find the right product right through, and then you make your money out. But then how do you define which point is the good point to rise up? So is now the good time to buy it? Because Chinese people, I'm sure all the investors around the world, they say the same thing. When they go to a salesperson, they come to us, they come to any company, everybody will tell them, now is the right time to buy. Is it true that now is the right time to buy? And especially now, is it the good time to buy?
It depends what your goal is.
Okay.
So firstly, if you're buying to live in, the moment you need to buy somewhere to live in is the right time to buy. You should ignore whether it's the best value for money or not, because it's going to be your home for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And it will naturally increase in value, because if you look at the graphs over the past 50 years or more, property has always risen. In terms of, is now the right time to buy for an investment? If you're going to buy now and hope to sell it before it completes, no. That market just does not exist, and there's no reason why it should. And that's not, I think I wrote an article for the Wolf magazine where I described that's not property investment, that's speculation.
Yeah.
and you're speculating, and you win some and you lose some. But I think all the time is a good time to buy. Yeah, there'll be a time when you'll look at it and go, that looks like it might have reached its peak and I shouldn't be buying. I don't believe that to be the case now, because definitely prices have come off by probably 10 to 15% in London. Unfortunately, there are people in the marketplace that think they can come into a developer and purchase something with a 30% discount or 25% discount. Any developer worth their salt won't sell at that price because they don't need to. They won't be making any money. They might as well rent it out themselves.
Yeah.
Rental market's so strong that they might as well do that themselves. And we've done that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's the tip. Okay, thank you,
Good.
David. Thank you.
Pleasure. Is that good?